Hi, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your December 26, 2023 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, so thank you so very much for doing so. And it gets this channel seen by the YouTube algorithm, so thank you again so very much. Now, let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. So we're crowned with the Two of Pentacles. We then have the Five of Cups. We have Judgment reversed. We have the Eight of Pentacles reversed. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. We have the Five of Pentacles and we have Justice reversed. So Justice is Libra energy. So if we have Libra energy in our chart, if we have Libras in our lives, we can find that this is just a little bit of a challenging energy coming forward. So just be mindful about that during this time. We can also feel that things aren't just, things aren't fair, that there needs to be a balancing. We're also going to be very sensitive to anything that is out of harmony in our lives. So being aware of that, kind of stepping back and saying, okay, how much am I trying to juggle? What's going on here? How much am I putting on myself? And how can I get things back in balance for me? Because being crowned by the Two of Pentacles, we're carrying a lot, right? We're trying to juggle a lot and we're forgetting to take care of ourselves. So it's going to be really important, Capricorn, with the full moon in Cancer. That's our sister sign. It brings out the best or it can bring out the worst in us, that we keep things balanced, we keep things harmonized, and we keep ourselves balanced and harmonized. Because this full moon is at 4 degrees 58 minutes of Cancer and the sun is at 4 degrees 58 minutes of Capricorn. We feel this time quite intensely. So staying balanced, knowing that we can overdo it. Also knowing that with the Eight of Pentacles reverse, like we will think we have the bandwidth to do everything. It's like, I can do this, I can do that, I got it all, I see it in my head, I know how I'm going to move this forward. And then things don't go according to plan. This is going to be a time, this is going to be a full moon, and this is going to be a time where we kind of have to step back and say, you know what? Easier is better. Easier is better. I'm going to simplify it and simplify it again. So take everything off the table that is just chaotic and that's going to cause unwanted stress. With the Five of Cups here, it's like change your mind, change your life. We can spend our whole entire existence looking at what didn't go right. And people do. We all know people like that. But we can turn around. We can see the Two of Cups. We can see the healing, beautiful love right there with us. And it's like, oh, okay, that's the energy that I'm connecting with. Judgment is reverse. So it can be that we're judging ourselves, we're looking inward, and we're being kind of critical of ourselves at this last full moon of the year. We're really looking at things and saying, oh, you could have done this, you could have done that. Again, stop. It is going to be so important saying, I'm looking inward and I'm looking at my small universe. I'm looking at my soul, myself, what I'm creating for me, and I'm moving forward. The Eight of Pentacles, with things being a lot of work, and they are, but us being like, no, I'm not going to just dive in 110% all the time during this time. So like people are going to have to figure things out. Stepping back a little bit is going to be very uncharacteristic for us, but it's also going to be very helpful. We're coming out of a poverty mentality. We have the Five of Pentacles here. And there's a sense that it's very easy for us during this time to look at things and be like, oh yeah, well, I never get that, or it never gets to work out that way, or I'm always on the outside looking in. And Spirit is saying here, hey, listen, we have the repeat of the number five. Five is a freedom number. Change your mind, change your life. And this is going to be a time that we see things around finances changing. Some things aren't just, and some things aren't fair. And that, again, is life. But finding a balance and a harmony within ourselves to say, I'm not going to keep on piling it on. I have nothing to prove, right? I'm going to live a joyous life and I'm going to see where that gets me. And I'm going to see what that looks like. And we might be doing big uprooting in order to get that. We might be really kind of rethinking what we had originally thought we wanted. And this is going to be a big time for us. It really is. This full moon in Cancer is like nurture yourself, nurture yourself. It's a cozy, comfortable, prosperous moon. And we're going to see that energy really looking inward. And it's like, Capricorn, do you always have to work so hard? Do you always have to be so hard on yourself? You're practical, yes, and you're brilliant in that practicality, but also show compassion unto yourself. So let's see what Spirit has to say. And if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a snowman in the comment box below. A person will be chosen at random and announced on the 1st of January. So keep your eyes open for that video and don't be scammed by anybody in the comment box. Now, if you are also interested, or if you are interested in purchasing a reading, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. It's linked in the description box below. So angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Oh, goodness. Okay. Here we go, Celestial. All right. So Capricorn, I love you guys. You guys are so practical. Your energy is so practical. It's so beautiful. And Celestial is saying, hey, listen, even though you don't think it, or even though you may not always think it, you're very affected by the alignment of the stars. You're very affected by solar flares. You're very affected by the changing of the moon. So being aware of this energy during this time is going to be super important for you. It doesn't mean that you have to keep up to date with every second of the astrology, but saying, okay, you know what? I know that I'm sensitive. There's nothing wrong with being sensitive, and I'm going to embrace that aspect of my life and of myself. And connecting more with the natural flow of the world is going to be important for us. It just is. So let's see what our chakra energy is. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Here we have self-mastery. This is the solar plexus chakra. It's listening to our gut. Our gut is going to be telling us a lot and giving us a lot of knowledge. If we feel it in our gut, great. If we don't feel it in our gut, or something's like a little bit off, just be aware of that. Be mindful, kind of step back a little bit. But we will say during this time, oh, I didn't listen to my gut. I didn't listen. I had a feeling and I went against it. This is going to be a time where self-mastery is coming in. It's like, listen to yourself. Listen to yourself, Capricorn. So let's see the energy to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Oh, the Three of Swords. That makes sense, especially with the Five of Pentacles. There is a heartbreak that we went through that we could have found financially rather hurtful or overwhelming to us. So being aware of that during this time is going to be important. Be mindful of the Three of Swords. Be mindful of heartbreak, pain, disappointment, the scars that we carry, and them being very, very real to us. Like, too real? It's like we're living in that pain. We're living in that hurt. And I know you guys who always watch, I know you're going to be like, dang, same story. But yes, it's Miss Havisham with great expectations. I always see her as like so important with the Three of Swords and other like doomsday cards, where it's like the Eight of Swords too, right? I'm just going to live in that energy of hurt and pain and disappointment. I mean, she wore her wedding dress. She was left at the altar, back, I believe, Dickinson time, but like Victorian age, right? She was left at the altar, absolutely humiliated, and decided to wear her crinoline dress, which is highly flammable. That's how one of Oscar Wilde's sisters passed. So highly flammable dress. She wore that for the rest of her life. And she lived well into, her later years. She was, yeah, she lived a long life, not a good life, but a long life. And she lived in that heartbreak and that pain and that disappointment, and then went up in flames in it when she started to realize that, maybe she had let her heart bitter. So here, it's looking at ourselves and saying, am I doing that? Am I going to do that? Am I going to let this pain be my defining factor? And we can for a season. We can have that. We all have that. I know I've had that, where you live in pain and there's a season of pain where what you have gone through has really shaped you at a molecular, cellular level. And it has. We're not the same after pain. We can have fear and just a response to things. So understanding that and showing ourselves compassion is going to be important, but not living there. Not living there is going to be a very big thing for us. Now, this full moon is the third full moon in a series of 6 full moons that brings a strong sense of completion, all right? And that's why the universe is like, we're looking within, right? By the time we have finished the next 3 full moons, we're going to see ourselves more looking outward, but we're also a little bit tired, right? We have a strong sense of completion, a strong sense of what I've done, what I've achieved, how I have moved forward. So with the 8 of Pentacles, it's like, okay, I put in the work. I want to kind of sit back right now. The moon rules Cancer, right? That's why this Cancer full moon is so cozy, and it brings this level of sensitivity, empathicness. So if you already are empathic, it's heightened. It brings this sympathetic energy forward. We're all very in tuned to one another. It's cozy, it's caring, it's wonderful. So embrace that. Embrace that. Even though we have the repeat of the number 5, which can be a little bit of a rebel number, can be a little bit of a, kind of shaking things up. And if we feel like we're always on the outside, we never really get to be cozy. That can be something that we need to address during this time, most definitely. Now, the moon is our need for emotional security, and in Cancer, it's right at home. And the sun is our need for economic and financial security. So in Capricorn, it's right at home. So there's beauty here. But again, with a Cancer full moon, we might feel a little bit out of sorts or completely at home because, again, it's our sister sign. It brings out either the best or the worst in us. And if you want to go deeper into the astrology, I have linked in the description box below Pam Gregory, who has a channel here on YouTube and is just absolutely brilliant. So totally check her out. We have 3 powerful sextiles during this full moon. We have the Sun sextile Saturn in Pisces. We have Saturn sextile Jupiter in Taurus. And we have Jupiter sextile the full moon in Cancer. And these bring forward this real sense of opportunities are coming, right? With the 2 of Pentacles, there's a sense of, okay, I have to balance everything. I have to get everything just right. Opportunities are coming. And it's very spontaneous energy too. So it's like, okay, how much can I keep on juggling? It's like when you go to the circus and you see the person throwing balls at a clown and the clown is just juggling and juggling more and more and more. It's like, okay, when is the breaking point? And there's almost an energy around us with that. It's like, when's the breaking point? How much am I going to be taking on? Because what we're moving towards and what we're going to see is that there's something coming into our lives, something coming into our future that has great potential for the rest of our lives. And this is a time of balancing expansion and caution. It's learning how to play to our strengths and to what we desire. And we're looking at something big. And this is why Spirit is saying, change your mind, change your life, right? The 5 of Cups, where we can spend our whole time looking at what has fallen apart, but we can turn around and start to see the opportunities coming our way. And no longer are we going to look at things and always feel like I'm left out in the cold, or I don't get to have this, because now we're aware of this energy, of this thought pattern, and we can kind of, nip it in the bud and say, absolutely no, that is not how I'm moving forward in my life and in my existence. The sun is trine Jupiter, and this brings an expansive vision. It's like, oh, I can see this. Oh, I can move forward this way. And it also brings a higher level of consciousness. Now, Capricorn is conjunct one of the 4 royal stars of Persia, and this is the star Fomalhaut. Now, we've talked about this before, but it's an important time, so it bears mentioning again that this star, which is at 3 degrees of Pisces, and fixed stars only move 1 degree every 72 years. So this energy is with us for a very long time. This energy is linked to the Archangel Gabriel, and Gabriel is the messenger. Gabriel is the powerful protector, and Gabriel is the mouthpiece of God. So we're having this energy come forward during this time. Are we going to see things as just and fair always? No. But we're going to be hearing the messages from our angels, from our spirit guides, from the Archangel Gabriel more profoundly. But we're also going to see that this is a time where things are out of balance, because Fomalhaut also represents dragons and serpents. And in Persian mythology, that is an energy represented by demons. Whether we believe in demons or not, what we're talking about is the fundamental of the story here. And so we have demons coming forward. Well, we have the mouthpiece of God coming forward. So the highest energy vibration we are attuned to one of the lowest energy vibrations we are attuned to. And this is going to be a time where we can feel that imbalance. And in our practical way, in our sensible way, Capricorn, we're going to be looking at this and saying, well, wait, why is it that things are so intense? Why is it that there are such distinct ways forward during this time? I feel out of balance. It's easier to be pulled into the shadows. It is. So just be mindful about that. All energy vibrational beings during this time have to be mindful that it is easier to be pulled in the shadows than to move forward in the light. And you get mocked when you move forward in the light, when you're happy, when you are looking at the bright side of things. People call you foolish or simple or, whatever, a Pollyanna, and they make fun of it. I think it is an extraordinary thing to live in this world and be happy and be contented and look within and say, this is my universe within me. It's not about outward and more, but it's about me and simplifying and connecting. And that's going to be what leads us forward during this time. And that's going to be a very big revelation that comes our way, Capricorn. Now, Jupiter is 5 degrees in Taurus, and this is taking us another step forward in our finances. So that's a very good thing as well. Now, the North Lunar Node stays in Aries from now until the end of 2024. And this is a big time for us. And this is really a big energy around all of 2024. We are becoming stronger. We are becoming more resilient. We are becoming more self sufficient. We are breaking new ground in becoming ourselves. And this is a big deal because what we're going to really be seeing here is that I'm stepping into the power of I know who I am. And that is groundbreaking and life changing. And we're going to see that within ourselves. And there's going to be a point to it where it's like the Eight of Pentacles reversed. It's not working so hard. You know, in every aspect of our lives, we can strive to be the very best that we can be. But we're also going to kind of let our hair down here and say, let me explore, let me connect, let me understand, let me know who I am. Because we might be thinking, I don't need to be any stronger, right? I don't need to be, any more self-sufficient. I don't need to be any more resilient. I've been through enough. I feel the same exact way. But we're being taken out of that state of, I need help, or I can't do this, to knowing darn well we can stand on our own 2 feet. It's better to have help, most definitely. It's better to have help and support. But there's a strength to us that is astounding. And we're going to be surprised by it. Now, Chiron is stationary, and this is very interesting because Chiron, wherever Chiron shows up in our natal chart, that is our original wound. Think of Achilles being dipped into the river Styx. He was held by his Achilles heel, a weak spot in the human body, right? But it was his only weak spot. And so everywhere else he could be hit and never have anything happen to him. It was only on his Achilles heel, named after him, that he would suffer a wound that could be fatal. So what we are born with is this wound, and things that we learn during our lifespan, it all penetrates out, like kind of pulses out of that original wound. And what we're being called here to be is a leader of that wound. It's like not being held back, not being denied because of that pain, but becoming a master of moving forward despite that despair, despite the Five of Pentacles, despite feeling left out in the cold. And Five of Pentacles for a Capricorn energy, where finances and prosperity and, kind of earthly comforts as an earth sign energy, right, are so important. It's like, okay, this is where I need to focus. This is where I need my connection, is in order to move forward in my prosperity, in order to see the wounds that can cripple me the most. Now, the sun is conjunct the dwarf planet Ixion, and this is at 4 degrees of Capricorn. And what Ixion wants us to do is to develop our authentic self and to really follow our bliss. And it is helping us find joy in the simple things, which is very, very beautiful. And Ixion is asking us, are the rules that we are playing by even right for us? Is what we are trying to achieve and succeed at even right for us? And so we're going to see that here when we look inward. We have the list where we have this sense of judging ourselves. Are we judging ourselves kindly or rightly? Or are we looking at ourselves and looking at the negative instead of the positive? It's time to bring the blessings forward. Mercury squared Neptune. This is fantastic for the arts, but this is fantastic for creative energy. This is the grit within the oyster that brings us forward into prosperity. And remember, to an oyster, a pearl is just nonsense. It is a bit of oyster spit, right? It is hardened oyster mucus. An oyster gets a bit of grit in its mouth and annoyance, and it covers it with mucus and covers it with mucus until it makes a pearl. When human beings find that pearl, open up the oyster, find the pearl, it's a priceless treasure. To the oyster, it was annoyance for its whole entire being. So understanding that during this time, that we're going to be making breakthroughs through annoyances, that we're going to be stepping back from things and being frustrated and finding the imbalance and saying, it's not just, it's not fair, this is bonkers. And then we're going to be stepping back and then seeing ourselves because we are starting to connect with us. Mercury squared Mars, and this is an energy to be mindful of. Be mindful of your words. Everybody has to be. Take a breath, take a beat before you respond and react. We can be very biting during this time, so just be mindful about that. But we are also quick-witted, sharp-minded, and very enthusiastic. So that's a good part to take away. Pluto is squared the nodal axis with the South Lunar Node. And this is going to be a time where Pluto is squared the South Lunar Node for us to really look back at 2023. And for the whole year, we have been being asked, are you going to choose love or fear? victim or victor. And this is a time, even if we've been afraid a lot of 2023, even if we've had that fear hit us right in between the eyes and we found it hard to choose love because the fear came through so potently and we felt like a victim and we didn't feel like a victor, we're going to start to choose love. Or we're going to have to say to ourselves, it's time to change our mind and it's time to choose love. Because that's what's going to give us the power, the intensity, the beauty of life in the most exquisite way and lead us to our universal consciousness. Lead us to a greater connection. Choose love. Choose seeing victory. Even if you sit there and you know, okay, I failed that path, but I know now not what to do, and I know how not to walk again. So let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. It's falling. Okay. Angels and spirit guides. Oh, goodness. Angels. Okay. We have our bonus card, which is fruition. What are we bringing to fruition through our mind, through our action, through our connection? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Ooh, okay. Angels and spirit guides. Interesting. Angels and spirit guides. So it's really interesting here is that we start off with abundance reversed. And it says, have faith in your dreams. We're not feeling abundant because we're overburdened. We're trying to balance too much. That spirit is saying, hey, you know what? Time to let go of some of that. And as we do, as we start to call back our abundance, say our power, our prosperity, our inclinations, our gifts, we are going to find that we can have faith in our dreams again. But until we start to decrease our workload, the Eight of Pentacles reversed, we are going to find that it is hard to see ourselves as abundant because it's just hard to give ourselves a breath and to let ourselves really connect with what we want. It's what we think we want that we're chasing. But are we really connecting with our deeper soul's connection and love? It brings us then to bring love into the situation, which is reversed, and the unexpected. So here during this time, it's going to be unexpected for us to be told to bring love into the situation, which is what Pluto squared the South Node just did. It said, for the whole year of 2023, we were supposed to choose love over fear. And we were given that opportunity time and time again. And now we're looking at things and it's like unexpected to choose love over fear, but also over that daunting practicality of things where it's like, no, this is more sensible, but it chips away at our soul just a little bit. And so here, what is going to be unexpected is just to fully step into love and fully step into that emotion, to meditate on love before you go to sleep at night and just let yourself chant that word, love, love, love. I mean, I like to do that. And then I'd like to see my stress level at the end of my meditation because I never get it that low. I don't even think it gets that low while I'm sleeping. So try that. Try it. It's really beautiful. It leads us then to working through our fears, which is reverse. Turning inward is something that's hard for us. And it's hard for every human being. Don't think, oh my gosh, it's just because it's me. No, it's because we're human and life is intense. So working through our fears is a bit difficult. But here we have patience. We need to have patience with ourselves. And we have a potential coming forward. And Spirit is like, hey, listen, have patience with you. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter, the season of life that you're in. It matters that you start to have patience with you and see what brings the fear, see what brings the chaos, and start to release it. Because we're turning inward. It's not about the outward anymore. It's about the inward. And we're going to see ourselves really stepping into ourselves. Communication is key. And that's reversed. So this moon, it's our sister sign. It tests us. It pushes our buttons. And so when we have the Eight of Pentacles reversed, where it's like, okay, I'm not being as productive or I'm not pushing myself as hard. And so we question, will I be able to achieve and succeed? And Spirit's like, yes, of course you will. But here we have attraction, right? What are we attracting to ourselves through the law of attraction? And we need to communicate to ourselves. What do I want? What is the energy I'm bringing forward? What is it that I've been overworking myself on? What is it that's been holding me back? And then it brings us to this place of step out of your comfort zone. And that's going to bring us to the place of resistance, of seeing that, yeah, I've been pushed down before. And there's an energy that has tried to push me down. But I'm not doing it anymore. I'm stepping out of that poverty mentality. And I'm stepping into the place that I always knew I could be, or always dreamed I could be. And then we see with the new moon in Capricorn, so we're ending with our own energy coming forward. We're seeing our hard work is paying off. And we're seeing that our path leads to that portal in the sky. It leads to an unexpected place on a rickety ladder into the portal into the sky. And it's like, well, that's not what I expected. But Spirit's like, that's where you need to be. It's not always going to be fair. It's not always going to be just. It's not always going to be the way we imagined. Actually, it seldom is. But it's always interesting. Some things are devastating. And I know you're going to say, Dane, how dare you say that? It's interesting. Some things are just devastating. Wounds on the soul that we need not, be buried in. And we have to work hard on that. But our hard work is paying off. And the path that we are taking is so different than what we had originally thought we would be, that it's exciting. And for some of us, it might be spot on, right? It might be exactly what we thought. But I just see here twists and turns along the way that you never expected. That if somebody told you that, this would happen, that would happen, you'd laugh at them. You'd be like, that's ridiculous. It'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I wasted my time even listening to that. I know I feel that way. I'm like, wow, if somebody told me this, or people have told me it. And I'm like, no, that's ridiculous. Or you see it yourself and you're like, no, that's ridiculous. And then you live it and you're like, oh man, that's wild. So just be aware. Your hard work is paying off, but it's taking you on a ride you never expected. It brings us to our subconscious. Oh, and fruition. Our dreams are coming to fruition. Our desires are coming to fruition. But again, in a way we hadn't expected. Our subconscious spirit message is joyous. Be joyous of heart, passionate of spirit. Our subconscious chakra message is grounding reversed. This is the Earth Star chakra located 6 inches below your feet. Are you grounded in yourself? And here it's like, no, we're not. How do we get grounded in ourselves? Touch Earth. Go outside. Connect. See what's really important to you. And see what that means. And are you nurturing yourself the right way? I always like to say, is it a cactus planted where a pine tree should be? Or a pine tree planted where a cactus should be? They're not going to thrive in that soil. It's even when you're planting, veggies, right? There are some that do better in acidic soil, better in this soil, better in that soil. And so you have to be aware of it. How are you feeding yourself? How are you nurturing yourself? That's important. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is justice reversed. And we have that in the chart. That there are some things just aren't fair. And there are some things that just feel out of balance. And we have to address that. We have to see that. It's like, okay, but we cannot let the unfairness of it all destroy us. Because then it's one. Then chaos is one. And that's not cool. But it can also be mindful of Libra energy. Our subconscious, tarot message, is the Fool reversed. We're afraid subconsciously of taking that leap of faith, of going into that next step, going into that next, way of being, leaping forward and seeing what will become of it. Our subconscious Luna message is you're good enough reversed. This moon has us questioning ourselves, and yet it protects us to find the answers to those questions. You are good enough, and you are powerful in your greatness. You are powerful in your very essence. Here, Capricorn. All right, Capricorn. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Capricorn. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. And have a blessed moon. And happy holidays. Bye.